Hey guys, welcome to the Bird's Nest. Please like, comment, and subscribe for your NFL and college football recaps for the 2025 season. You don't want to miss out. All right, the Colorado Buffaloes had their first game of the season tonight against Georgia Tech. And all I can say is this is a totally different team. Um, Boy, it really highlights the fact that Shedeur is elite. He is. I don't care who believes it. We watched him play. We saw what he did. What I will say is, people worried about how Shedeur gonna do without his dad. I don't know if people really worried about it. Actually, they said he was nothing without his dad, actually, and he was given the job all the time. He didn't deserve it. As it turns out, we don't know how Deion's going to do without Shedeur. This is a different team. Calls were played differently. The whole scheme was just different. Uh, I've said in previous videos that y'all probably didn't watch, because it was when I was just getting started, that last two seasons, Colorado had no run game. Zero. I told you, I didn't know who the tight ends were. I didn't know who the running backs were. I could not name them for you. But tonight, they ran most of the time, it seemed like. Well, in the first three quarters, they ran the ball a lot. And, Shedeur used to get that ball down the field quickly. He threw a lot of long passes. LeJontay Wester, Jimmy Horn Jr., Travis, they got a lot of work. The wide receivers tonight didn't get a lot of work. The running backs got a lot of work. And Caden did a lot of running. That was so interesting to see. It's a totally different team, it seems. I think it might be more similar to the Shedeur era whenever Juju plays. I don't know what's going on with Caden. I'm not familiar with him. I know this is his third year, right? Maybe fourth. So I'm unfamiliar with his game. I think they said something about he can run well. But I know there was one play. Third and 10. Yeah, they were on third and 10. And, the offense, people were saying that he has an offense. I saw plenty of times when the offense, the O-line broke down on him. And in this particular case, third and 10, he got into trouble. And then he scrambled to the right. And he had an open field to just run and get a first down. And instead, he overthrows it to the end zone, or actually to the outside of the other side of the end zone, and misses his target, whoever that was. I didn't even see. So, as a matter of fact, he possibly could have ran it in for the touchdown, but he definitely could have done it for the first down. So maybe that was nerves. I don't know. Not something Shedeur would have done. And I'm gonna give myself this video to get Shedeur out of my system. This is not Shedeur's team anymore. Yes, he was elite, whether people want to believe it or not. There's a reason why they retired his jersey. I didn't agree with it because I say let them go out into the NFL and ball out there and then retire the jersey. I wasn't really keen on retiring the jersey right after they graduated. Or, I don't know if they had graduated yet. I think they did. I wasn't really keen on that. But it wasn't that he didn't earn that piece of it. Like him and Travis did that piece of it. They did the college thing, and all they needed to do was go out and do the NFL thing, and then they would have deserved it after, I don't know, 5 years in the pros. Oh, and then I don't know if Deion was nervous. The fact that he was calling all those running plays and screens and very short passes, and then at one point they were 4th and 1, and instead of attempting to get that 1 yard, I mean, you're using them for rushing all night. Why not let them rush for 1 yard? You don't even trust them to do that. They punted. That was very telling to me. Um, they've got some gelling to do as a team and as a coach and team. Yeah, Caden had 7 passes in the first quarter. I made a note of that. And let me just mention Omarion Miller here because I won't get to mention him during the stats section because he only got targeted once. Omarion is an outstanding wide receiver. From what I've seen tonight, he's still their best wide receiver, but he only got one target. So Shedeur used to work with the wide receivers. He used to practice with them on the day off so that they could be on the same page, so they could think alike, so that he could be familiar and they could be familiar with each other's timing and get that timing perfect. Perfect timing. He made that song because that's what he believes in. Timing is everything for Shedeur and his wide receivers, so he will work with them to make sure they got that down. It seems to me, Caden's not doing that with his wide receivers. They barely got any play. Omarion barely got any play, but when he finally did target him, he got the most yards in one catch. 39 yards Omarion got today, and that's the most for the whole team, but he only had one target. So they've got some work to do with gelling, and everybody's not going to be like Shedeur. I know that. I know that he is special and unusual the way he works and the way he works with his wide receivers on their off time. The video's out there. You can find video of him, trying to encourage them. I know, guys, I know it's Saturday. I know it's your day off, but we just need to go through this one time. Everybody's not going to do that. But Shedeur need to get that timing down. That is so important to him, and that's why he worked with Gage, and I bet you he worked with Luke after practice to get that timing down. And as you saw, they had perfect timing together. So let me tell you about the stats. They lost. The score, Georgia Tech beat them 27-20, and they've got some work to do. It's a new team. It's practically a new team, and so I'm not going to write them off because of this game, but there's some growth that needs to be done with the team as a unit. Caden, what's going to be the plan for him? Because later in the game, he started throwing passes. He's not accurate like Shedeur, so it didn't work out for him. But they started doing that all of a sudden when they had been running the whole rest of the game, like quarters 1 through 3. In the fourth quarter, they all of a sudden want to start throwing passes down the field. So they've got some things, some kinks to work out and decide what they want to do with this team moving forward with Caden. And in my opinion, Caden, he needs to get it together because they got Juju waiting in the wings. And if Caden can't get it together over these next 2-3 games, I'm thinking he might need to lose his spot. I understand that you want to play him because he's the senior, but Juju is a 5-star recruit. And if Caden can't do it for you, then you might need to put in the guy that does. You don't just have one quarterback anymore. You got options. You didn't need options with Shedeur. So let me tell you, Caden Salter, he passed his 17 of 28 completion, 60%. So, and 159 yards. Not much per pass. Very short passes, as I said. And then when he tried to make long passes, he wasn't making them. He only made the one to Omarion. So that's why he only has 159 yards in 17 completions. Rushing, he had 13 carries. Wow. For a quarterback, that's a lot, isn't it? 13 carries for 43 yards. Didn't wasn't very productive. I mean, 43 yards and 13 carries. Yeah, they're gonna have to figure out what to do with Caden. I don't know him. Is this how he normally plays? Was he a running quarterback before? Um, y'all let me know. If you know, let me know. I don't know him like that. Uh, and then his favorite target, if you will, um, was Micah Welch, and he's a running back. He had 11 carries for, I'm sorry, well, 11 carries for 64 yards. That was Michael Welch. That's only 5 yards per carry. I don't know. They got some work to do. And then his favorite wide receiver, his favorite wide receiver target was DeKalon Taylor, also a running back. They got some work to do. And he made 3 receptions for 38 yards. 1 carry for 2 yards. So he did better as a wide receiver than he did as a running back. So his other targets that I guess you could, his top targets were Draylon Miller, wide receiver, Zach Atkins, tight end, and Hakeem Williams, wide receiver. Though those 3 got 2 completions apiece. I don't know how many targets they have, but 2 completions apiece. So things are not working the way that they should. Running backs should not be wide receivers. Why are the wide receivers not getting any work? Hopefully they'll look at film. I don't know what they need to do because things were not working tonight. The play calling was not great. The execution was not great. We're going to have to get used to a new era in Colorado, and if Coach Prime wants to build on what he created with Shedeur and Travis and LeJounte and Jimmy Horn Jr., they're going to have to mobilize these wide receivers. And you most certainly need to take advantage of Omarion Miller. I mean, he can't not be getting targets. So they got to figure it out. But that was the first game. And we'll see what happens going forward. And let's see how long Caden can keep this job. Because right now, I'm clamoring for my boy Juju. And last time, gonna try to get it out my system. Shout out to my boy Shedeur. Respect need to be put on his name for what he did at Colorado. And he is awesome. And it is going to be different for him in the NFL because NFL teams are not going to have to rely on him to create plays. Shedeur used to create plays on the sideline. So he's going to have to get used to taking direction and doing what they tell him to do. And he's been doing that just fine. Well, and he's also been making things happen because Kevin Stefanski. I'll finish that thought and then let me stop with the Shedeur talk. Kevin Stefanski didn't call the best plays for him in that first game, but he still made it work because that's what he does. That's what he did for 4 years of college. So that's why we know that when it's time for Shedeur to play, it's going to be real special. The NFL need to unleash that boy. Stop playing, y'all. But yeah, Colorado, you're back to mere mortals. Coach Prime, can you coach without Shedeur? Y'all know he never has, right? He has only coached Shedeur as a quarterback. So he's going to have to figure it out. Best of luck to him. I'm going to have to do another video because people mention this about Coach Prime going to the NFL and getting Shedeur. I'm going to do a video on that. But there's your recap. I'll see you tomorrow after the Longhorns games. Those are the only two college teams I'm watching. Colorado and the Longhorns for Arch, because y'all say Arch is a first-round draft pick when you ain't never even seen him play. Y'all said he was number 1, and he only played twice. So I got to know what's going on with Arch since y'all done crowned him in 2 games. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mwah.